Proceed with extreme caution. Cynicism will be adopted throughout this video, as you can imagine. I'm going to let Sky Sports Keith down into the talking really in about a minute. I'll just give my quick 2 pence on it. And it's, buy a globe, spin it around, put your finger on it, land on a random country, and there you go. You've got a Newcastle Takeover story. Yet another one is out the woodworks now. And honestly, I just kind of, that's why I'm going to let Keith do the talk. I can't really be asked to get into it too much. Obviously, being a Newcastle FanTV channel, we have to report on Newcastle news, kind of what we're all about. I'm not going to give this one too much attention until it hopefully gets further down the line, but obviously we'll just report on it and what's been said. Basically, Belnova Group, Paris-based, Singapore-owned, put a bid in for Newcastle, £280 million. That's that game over then. That's going to get rejected straight away by Fat Mike. That will. Apparently, they're going to be happy to come back with an increased bid of over £300 million. They're promising investment in the community and the city, as well as the club, with £12 billion. So still an absolute shed loads of money there. And these two are going to help it get it done. Good old Shearer and Chopra. Yeah, strike force to be scared of back in the day. Just Alan, not Michael. Obviously went to Sunderland. Still supported to no Chopra, and he just follow on Instagram and stuff. So hopefully he can do something. He's based in that part of the world as well, where they're from. So if it's all true, it's all a bit mad. But it's Newcastle United, so who knows what I believe anymore. I mean, with this, like I say, it's hard to even be asked to talk about takeover stuff and different groups and different things. If it's an American one week, it's Singapore the next. Vince McMahon comes along, and then, oh god, no, it'll be fucking Samuel L. Jackson next to come in, or yeah, who knows? Who knows anymore? But this is the latest one. Obviously, it's on Sky Sports News. As I say, I'll show what Keith's got to say about it in a minute. So it's obviously, I think it's credible and legitimate, and even he's on about just being pessimistic about it all because we've been here before over and over and over again and actually got nowhere near it, nowhere with it. So let's see what happens with this one. Apparently we'll hear more in the next coming days. But why can't we just be Man City and wait when it'll be done? And remember, those are Mike Ashley's famous words, that would be the case with us. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, this is what Keith Downey's got to say on it.
Keith, well, we've seen a few bids before, haven't we? I suppose the question is, how serious is this one?
Yeah, this is the sixth bid, publicly linked bid, linked with Newcastle United and Mike Ashley since he put the club onto the market way back in October 2017. And as yet, Aaron, none of them have come to anything, so there will be some scepticism certainly amongst Newcastle United supporters and onlookers at these recent claims. Now, this is a French based group. I can tell you they're called Bellegraph Nova, and they have Far East money, they say, behind them, most notably from Singapore. They've made some pretty big claims over the weekend, it must be said, and the first of those is that they have made that bid to buy Newcastle United from Mike Ashley for £280 million. They say they've sent a letter of intent to Mike Ashley's lawyers, Denton's, and that they have, crucially, they say, supplied proof of funds as well. They also claim to have enlisted the help of the former Newcastle United captain and legend, of course England captain as well, Alan Shearer. They say they've offered him a role at the club should their takeover prove successful. And the actual bid itself, I can tell you, has been brokered by another former Newcastle United player, and that's Michael Chopra, who now lives out of the country. As I said a moment ago, there'll be a lot of scepticism and cynicism from Newcastle United supporters. They feel like they've been led down the garden path a number of times. They're still reeling from the news 18 days ago that the Saudi-backed consortium led by Amanda Staveley pulled out when they were oh so close to having that pass through. They were just waiting on ratification from the Premier League. That didn't arrive, and of course the Saudi-backed consortium pulled out. It's left Newcastle United supporters really desperate and now really upset that hasn't happened. But what I can tell the Newcastle United supporters listening to this is that while I understand there is cynicism and scepticism, and much of that is from me as well, I have actually seen the documents purporting this bid, and one of them is a 29-page dossier with lots of financial figures in there as well, and it includes what appears to be proof of funds. And in those documents, they claim Telegraph Nova claim that their revenue back in 2019 was £12 billion. So, of course, numbers not to be sniffed at. But as far as Newcastle United supporters are concerned, I get the feeling they're still desperate that the Saudi-backed consortium comes to the table. We heard from the Premier League for the first time. They broke their silence on Friday and gave us an idea of why that takeover wasn't passed through, it wasn't failed, while it's essentially still sitting there until the Saudis stepped away. But yeah, this is the latest bid on the table, so they claim. And I'm sure we'll hear more about this in the coming days and weeks ahead. But interesting because it's Michael Chopra, a former player. Interesting because they're enlisting the help, they say, of Alan Shearer. £280 million is the bid they say on the table. Although Newcastle United, as I understand it, are aware, Mike Ashley's lawyers are aware of that bid on the table, he would be, as I understand it, looking for closer to £350 million. So once they do react to this, and they haven't formally yet, I do expect them to reject it. Sources within the buying consortium say to me that if it is rejected, they will return with a bigger bid.
Let me know in the comments below what you think. Subscribe to my Channel TV and enjoy yourselves.